Thank you, Naseha, for joining us today for Invincible's interview. I would like to ask you to tell me something about yourself. Who is Naseha? What do you like? And
Nasiha is still a nomad trying to figure herself out and her place in this whole world. And I have learned a little bit on data science. So, yeah, I'm a data scientist. And since I'm a data scientist, I am a storyteller as well.
Mhm.
Because with data science, that's what you do. You create stories, you evolve the characters which are elements, and then you place them in the world. So I loved writing since a kid, but I was never sure of myself. I never knew that my stories were even readable.
Okay.
Forget about getting it published. So I kept hiding them in a closet, and literally it was under a lock and key. So nobody except my mom knew that I
Mhm.
used to write, and mom used to hear my stories, and Badi Chachi used to hear my stories. Otherwise, nobody else knew. Uh, very late in life, around 2019, when I was entering the turbulent, as they say, beautiful 40s,
Yeah.
I somehow my partner insisted that, come on, what's the harm? At least send it to one or two publishers, let them have a look, and then it's up to you and them.
Yeah.
At least get a feedback.
Yeah.
And then Invincible happened.
And now you are an author. Now you're a published author and coming out with your second book. Speaking of your second book,
Yeah.
what is this book about?
Yeah. So this girl, she had dreams of getting married to a very handsome guy and living a very romantic life.
Mm-hmm.
But she was married off to a guy who was older than her father, who made it very clear that you are just a means to to give my kingdom an heir. Otherwise, I love my first queen.
Mm-hmm.
And though he had married 4 times, he
Yeah.
was technically one
One
woman
man.
guy.
Yeah.
So she was kind of lost trying to balance between her likes, her wants, and the obligations that she had
Mm-hmm.
as a princess, as a queen. So somewhere that touched a chord, because as a female in the society that we live in, we are given more of obligations than uh, space to express what
And this is a
we
modern
want.
society, whereas she
Yeah.
is in the ancient times, which was much more conservative, much more bound with a lot of bounds that you can't cross as a woman. So,
Right.
in your book, there's a lot of ancient culture that is taken from real, like it's there. It's a real ancient culture which is incorporated in the book. So, what was your? How did you research? How did the research go about for your book?
So, for each and every aspect, I started reading about that era, right from the geographical, uh, climatic conditions to societal structure, and a lot of material is there. Not only fiction, but real reference material, like what was the climate like, what was the, uh, I mean, what kind of clothes did they wear? At that time, they were not
Culture.
wearing zardosi, so
J.
if I write Zardosi at that time, it will be completely out of place.
Yeah.
So for each and every element, I created a list that these are the elements that I'm going to use. What are the reference material? So a very strong reference material was created before I started.
Okay. Uh, in the book, where there is like in the cover itself, it's a beautiful cover, like with the beautiful hands and
Thank
beautiful
you.
jewelry and everything. What was your thought process when when you thought like, okay, I'm going to take this as the cover, and this is going to be the title of the book?
I can't take credit for the cover. That the hard work is done by my partner, my husband, Alok. He has done all the thought process. I think he spent at least 4 to 5 days just trying to get 2 or 3 different templates to see which one will actually look good. So earlier, the thought process was to use a lot of Jodhgarh scenery or Himalayas, but then it didn't click. But when this picture came, as in this, I just couldn't take my eyes off. I said, yeah,
It's beautiful.
let's stop here, because she's the one. It's her story. Let her have the cover
Main focal
completely.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you start writing a book, not just this book, or whenever you started writing, as you said, you have been writing since a very young age. Whenever you start, what is your writing process? Whenever you think about writing a new book or a new story, what is your writing process for that?
The first is that inspiration. It could be either from one line or once any incident that has happened. That becomes the main foundation around which the story evolves. But after that, the way I structure it is, where is it happening? What time it is happening? What are the different elements around it? So right now I will start writing about a different timeline and a world altogether. So I have to create those worlds and those elements in it. Like,
do you divert? Sorry, I'm cutting you off over here.
No.
Do you divert off from the factual timeline sometimes, or maybe because it goes with the story well? Like maybe like as you said, there was no Zardoshi at that time. So maybe if it was going well with the story, would you put that kind of an element in the story, or would you be strict to the facts?
No, I will. My stories are completely fiction, but it is very true to that time. Somehow I can't mix those things. I have seen few of the series also, wherein people change history, and that is for me, it's like a crime. Because people forget history. What people remember are the stories.
Yes.
After a few years, people will remember that, and will try to imagine, okay, at this era people were wearing Zardosi. It's not true. So I would rather, I follow William Darlimpin. So the way he writes the true account, but he never dilutes it with anything. He dramatizes the whole thing, but he never deviates from the truth. So few things are very sacred, like you hold true to the timeline.
Okay. So are you planning to write anything in modern times then now?
Yes, my latest one, which I have just completed, Perplexity. It is a story of 3 lockdown. 2020, 1947 and 1857. 3 lockdowns in Gurgaon, one night each.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know about that. I didn't know that. Like, I thought this is the only lockdown that happened. Okay, no, maybe
no, it's not yet published.
Yeah. I remember the 1947 one, which is given in the stories, in the movies, but I didn't know that it was the Gurgaon one, as specific as that. But I'm hoping to read that as well.
I sure do hope you read it and like it as well. So the other one that I'm writing is an interactive novel, which is based on future and how do I say? Do I reveal it? It's set up on the timeline of 1912 to 15 during the sinking of Titanic. So the story travels between an utopian society, maybe 3,000 years AD, and that the year wherein Titanic sank.
Great. I'm getting excited with all these like world building. And because I really love world building novels, because they give you a proper fantasization where you can know that what is happening, where is happening, you can visualize it while you are reading it. So I really love world building novels, so I'm excited for your new book as well. And congratulations for your second book. First of all, I didn't do that. Congratulations.
No worries. And in that interactive novel, you get to choose the storyline.
Oh,
you as a reader.
Yeah, I got that, but I'm surprised. Like, I have never been in an interactive novel. I have never read an interactive novel as such. A game, yes, not a novel, but that is exciting. That is something new.
I really hope it'll click. And for this, we have 3 more authors joining together, and they have their different
style of
arcs
writing
in which they are writing. Yeah, and all of that comes together wherein, and the reader can jump from one arc to another, and it's going to be crazy.
Hopefully that craziness will make it successful as well.
Keeping my fingers crossed.
Yay. I would like to ask you, as now you have already published a book, you're an author now, you can say, and you have a stand to say that yes, this works for me now. What are the tips that you would like to give out to other writers, or a tip of encouragement or advice that you would like to give other authors or other aspiring writers?
The only thing that the tip is more as a reader, because what I would like to read, I would ask the writers to write on those lines. Please be true to the facts, not saying that you cannot fictionalize it. Create a story around it, but please don't go for shortcuts. Like, okay, it'll take a lot of time to research. I don't have time. Let me finish the book in 20 days.
Yeah.
That, for a reader, nothing is. I mean, if I'm reading such a book, I'll throw it out after reading 5 pages.
Okay, so that's like your no, like a big no for you. Like no miss points.
Big no.
No historical discrepancies.
I mean, if you're writing something like Alice in Wonderland, create that magic. Nobody can question that. But if you are putting, for an example, if you are putting Babar there, I can just remember it. Babar lost the battle in Samarkand, and you can't show him winning the battle there and coming to India. He was not a victorious king at that time.
So yeah, big no to historical discrepancies. What is your process of writing that you would like to give out for other writers as well, to help them write? Like what is
create good arcs. Like the arcs should talk to each other, and loopholes are a big no, or plot holes. Like I don't actually, when I write, or even if I am reading, I actually visualize the whole story. So and for me, a sudden change in character without a rhyme or a reason is like, what happened? And unless it's a mystery that will be solved later in the story. But at times in the stories you will see the characters behaving in a very strange way suddenly, which is out of their character. So when you are before you start, please create the arc, and please have a complete view of the character, as what is that person. Even if you're not going to write it in your book, but you should know which flavor of ice cream that person likes.
Yeah,
you might not ever make that character eat ice cream in your book, but you should know that no, she will not eat blueberry. She will only go for chocolate ice cream.
Yeah. That's a very simple example, but I got your point across. But that got your point across. Thank you, Naseha. Thank you for joining today. It was wonderful having a chat with you. It was almost a chat as well. So it was, and thank you for giving your precious time to Invincible.
Same here. I love talking to you.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Have a good day. Bye.
Same to you. Bye.